Welcome back. As you know, I am Eli the Computer Guy here for the Daily Blob, where I shake my brain nipples every day to get some of that dirty YouTube money so I can afford to pay for your in-person hands-on technology education. Silicon Dojo, silicondojo.com. We do classes. You show up, you learn, you build something that you want to build. Anyways, you can take a look at silicondojo.com if you're interested in the classes. We have a class on AI and SQL coming up. We have a class on AI and web scraping coming up. We're going to have mini boot camps coming up, a whole bunch of different things. Also, to remember, free to end user is not free. That's why I shake my brain nipples. There is a donor box link down below if you want to throw a couple of dollars in to help support free hands-on technology education in Durham, North Carolina. And so, wow. I gotta say, I'm actually kind of surprised. Like I saw this going across the news wire yesterday, and I was like, I don't know how I feel about that. Just kind of, it caught me. I was at a loss for words. I definitely was not expecting it, but you know, a little bit of me wanted to giggle. A little bit of me wanted to giggle. So as a YouTube content creator who has dealt with the YouTube insanity over the past 16 and a half years at this point, it does make me giggle to see it appears that YouTube itself is going to be starting the layoffs. Aw, daddy doesn't love you anymore. Join the fucking pack. YouTube employees now get to understand what it feels like to be a YouTube content creator. Daddy's attention has gone to the new kids and he doesn't give a fuck if you starve to death. You're doing crack and having unsafe sex, and all you're trying to do is get your daddy's attention so daddy will save you. And then you sit in jail one night and daddy does not even return or pick up the phone, and you realize, oh shit, daddy don't give a fuck about me no more. Yeah, it sucks. It sucks, YouTube employees. It really does kind of suck. But anyways, coming from CNBC and everywhere else, YouTube offers voluntary buyouts as company reorganizes around AI. So it's buyouts. Well, let's be honest. It's the beginning of the layoffs. It's the beginning of the layoffs. Everybody's doing the layoffs. And Amazon does 30,000 layoffs. Microsoft does 16,000 layoffs. Intel does 20,000 layoffs. Layoffs are coming for all these tech companies because they are just bloated. Hey, YouTube employee, you know what the fuck the difference is between you and me? I actually provide value to somebody. Uh-oh, that might get canceled on YouTube. YouTube employees, fuck you, you goddamn content creator. Don't you know your place? Don't you know? You will kiss my ass. Anyways, yeah, it is weird. It is weird to see this. So yeah, YouTube is offering voluntary buyouts. So basically the idea is you agree to leave and we'll give you severance pay, which is a hell of a thing in the current job market. So we have a family friend who just got offered a voluntary buyout and actually did a lot of consultations. Talked with a lot of people. And basically what it came down to, and this is the thing to be thinking about, is that it seems like the company wants his department to go away. And so they can do it the easy way of everybody takes voluntary buyouts, everybody takes early retirement, although he's way too fucking young to retire, but anyways, early retirement. They can all either take early retirement or they can not take early retirement, and then 3 months later they'll just be fired. So that's kind of one of those things, how these voluntary buyouts like actually work. And one of the reasons that you have to be careful, right? Because some people are like, no, look, I still believe in this company. I believe YouTube can be a force for good in the world. Oh, you poor naive piece of shit. Anyways, I believe in YouTube's possibilities, right? There are people out there, they might believe in the company. They're like, look, I know these are difficult times. I know these are hard times, but I believe in the company. We can come together and the core of us can push this forward, right? We can go into beast mode, as Elon Musk says. But one of the problems you can run into is some of the times companies don't want you to go into beast mode. No, they just want you to go the fuck away. They're like, look, we tried to do this nice. We tried to do this polite. We allowed you to quit, and we were going to give you severance pay, and we were going to give you all this nice shit. You're so fucking stupid. You actually think all that company culture crap matters? Fuck. Oh, you're too dumb to deal with. And then they just get the fuck fired. See, so the family friend of ours actually just took the buyout because that's a reality, right? And that's one of the things too, like with me calling these layoffs or talking about layoffs now, some people go, Eli, it's not a layoff. Yeah, but if you start like in this particular time period with all the layoffs and everything going on, if you say your company or your department literally is trying to downsize and then they offer buyouts, yeah, this is when they're being nice and friendly. The hard part though is, again, like now, going into this economy, like what do? You take the buyout, right? You take the buyout, they give you the severance pay, that's all good. But you're going into a frozen fucking economy, as I've talked about before, right? The hiring process has already frozen up. Although theoretically, we are at quote unquote all-time lows for unemployment. Look, it was dumb under Biden and it's dumb under Trump, but let's just go with it. The issue is companies are not hiring and employees realize they don't have any power, so they're not quitting either. So that's the thing. So if you take the buyout, and that's what's so fucked up right now, right? If you take the buyout, you get a nice cushion, you get a nice severance pay, but you're going into a job market where you're probably not going to get a job. So you go, I'm not going to take the buyout because I want to keep my job. And so then you don't take the buyout, you keep your job, and 3 months later you get laid off. And then you get thrown into an even worse job market with none of the benefits, And this is what more and more people are really going to have to start thinking about. And this is where, as I say with you folks, you really need to think about taking agency in your own lives and taking agency in your career. Don't let yourself get hit flat-footed with what's going on with the macro forces. Like some of the stuff that's going on are evil, nasty bosses. Look, bosses can be evil too. It's not just employees. Employees aren't the only pieces of shit at a company. Bosses can be pieces of shit too, right? Sometimes there's evil bosses out there, but there's other times there's macro forces that's going on. Again, in the overall, like the insanity of the economy right now. There's other times where there's metrics that the company has to hit that may not seem logical to you, but shit doesn't have to be logical to you for it to be things that the company needs to hit. Again, if they're trying to go get more investors, or if they're trying to IPO, or if they're trying to get customers, right? The metrics that you hit for those things are going to be different. The metrics a company has to hit in order to get private investors are going to look different than the metrics they have to hit to IPO, which are going to look different than the metrics they have to hit in order to get more profit or more revenues in order to get more profit in, right? And so that's one of the things. You could be at a company, and they simply in the macro environment that's going on, they shift what their focus needs to be. And you may not have a position in that new world of the company, right? And these are things that you need to be thinking about. Again, I've talked about that. Are you living in the right place? Is it time to get another job? Is it time to start downsizing? As I talked about that one guy in Raleigh, really interesting. More than enough jobs. If he quit his job, there's more than enough jobs out there for him that pay 50% what he currently makes. Could you take that particular hit? These are the things to be thinking about. Again, talking to your managers, talking to the executives, treating your managers and bosses and executives as if they're human beings, and just saying, hey, I'm just trying to get a feel of what's going on here so I know what's best for the company. And what you'll find is many times your higher ups will tell you exactly what the fuck they need. Whether or not you like it is a different story. So this is stuff to be concerned about now. Again, think about this with YouTube, right? All we hear about YouTube, I think it's a crock of shit. I've been saying it's a crock of shit for years now. But anyways, all we've been hearing about YouTube is how successful YouTube is, right? YouTube is the future of media. It's worth, we hear what YouTube alone is worth like $100 billion. We hear a lot of stuff. And now they're doing voluntary buyouts as the company reorganizes. They're not simply reshuffling. They're not simply reorging, that type of thing. They're asking people to go the hell away. That's curious right there. YouTube is offering voluntary buyouts with severance for US-based employees as it restructures its product organizations to focus more on artificial intelligence. So we hear more about, AI. Hey, content creators. We get to deal more with AI. Yay. You know how all those AI experiments have gone over the past 10 years for content creators? Yeah, you know how many of us have been driven fucking insane and gotten into drugs and all kinds of other stuff because we haven't been able to handle the AI management and moderation bots and all that kind of stuff? Guess what? They're doubling down. They're doubling down on the bots, content creators. Run for your life. Anyways, the move comes as Google CEO Sundar Pichai pushes employees to boost productivity by using AI across the company. In an internal memo to staff, YouTube CEO Neil Mohan said the platform is reorganizing its product teams for the first time in a decade. Quote, looking to the future, the next frontier for YouTube is AI. I am curious as a content creator what this actually means. Is it going to be more AI content? Is it going to be more... Again, they keep talking about AI. They don't actually talk about, like, the product. What is the product that people are going to be buying? What is the solution that people are going to be using? AI. Anyways, a YouTube spokesperson said in a statement to CNBC, YouTube said no roles are being eliminated as part of the change. That seems weird. You're offering buyouts, but you're not eliminating roles? How does that work out? Under the new structure, 3 product groups will now report directly to Mohan. So yeah, that is what is currently going on in the YouTube world. What does it mean for us content creators? Just probably a new type of stupidity. It's a new type of stupidity. Yesterday, we had one type of stupidity. The day before, we had a different type of stupidity. The day before that, there was a completely different type of stupidity. Here's the thing, as a content creator, what you can always bet on, what you can always depend on is YouTube will be a fucking stupid-ass platform to try to make some money on. The only real question is, how will it be stupid today? And that is the question. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, we'll see how this goes in the future. What I will say with Neil Mohan. Am I allowed to do this? Is this breaking character? Anyway, what I'll say under Neil Mohan is a lot of the stupidity has stopped. Look, I've been on this ride for a long time, right? I created my YouTube channel in 2009, right? I was there in the very beginning where you could do long form content. I was there in the very beginning with the partner memberships and all that kind of stuff. I remember when things seemed like they were gonna get better all the way up until like 2016, 2017. And then we hit 2016, 2017, all the way up until Mohan took over in like 2022 or whatever. And that was just a shit show across the board. It pains me in my soul to say this, but one of the things I'll say with YouTube under Mohan is I've had a lot less problems. I have legitimately had a lot fewer issues. And you'll notice, if you follow me for a long period of time, it has been a long time since I've actually screamed about the platform itself, right? That used to be the joke for the YouTube content creators, is like at least once a year we would come onto YouTube and scream about how stupid it was and how we were quitting. All right, think about it for a second. Under Neil Mohan, like that kind of stopped. Like there was the draw my life era of YouTube and the I am quitting era of YouTube. And what's curious to think about right now is when was the last time you heard of a YouTube content creator saying, I am quitting because of YouTube? Now, like there's gamers, now to be clear, there's Gamers Nexus and there's the whole stupidity they're dealing with Bloomberg. And Bloomberg is stupid and YouTube should have a better way of dealing with Gamers Nexus and Bloomberg. Right? They should. There should be a better system for that. But that's not really YouTube. That's Bloomberg manipulating a legal system in a way that they shouldn't manipulate it. Right? Like if you really think about it though, YouTube just simply crapping the bed on content creators. Hasn't seemed to happen in a few years now. So I don't know. Maybe with the move to more artificial intelligence, maybe that will improve things. Maybe Mohan has a grip on YouTube that Susan W just didn't have, right? So it'll be interesting to see, what happens for us content creators, and I'll be curious to see what happens at YouTube itself. Again, one of the things I would say, it's very weird being a YouTube content creator, where we really have no connection to YouTube. As I've talked about before, I've had 3 partner managers over the years, and then they always get promoted, and then I'm literally told I can use the forum. Like the last partner manager I had, I literally had a partner manager because Google fucked up. YouTube fucked the fucking donkey. Anyways, and so to make up for that and to make sure I didn't have any problems in the future, I got a third partner manager. Anyways, the funny part was, it was like a year later, a guy gets promoted, fine, whatever, gets promoted, and then I'm like, okay, well, who's my next contact? Who's my next partner manager? Oh, you can use like the help portal or whatever. And I'm like, look, the reason you have been my partner manager is because YouTube's automatic systems fucked up to the point it made it a big goddamn deal, to the degree your boss at YouTube gave me a partner manager so they wouldn't have to deal with a fucking headache in the future. And now you're telling me a year later that, oh, no, the human being is going to go away and you can use the fucking help forum or whatever else. It is a weird thing as content creators that we have zero, and I mean zero, connection to YouTube corporate. Like, I do these videos, I upload to the platform, I see my stats, I get money literally direct deposit. I don't even get a check with a fucking signature on it. Like, it is so, and so it is like this weird, like, I have no idea what happens in YouTube corporate. And so, like, with this like, I don't know. I giggle. Because with what YouTube has done to me over the past number of years, I do smile at the thought of YouTube employees getting a little fucked. That does bring a smile to my face because I see how those bastards have treated us. But beyond that, I don't really know if I can give an opinion on what I think this will do for the platform going forward. It may get worse. It truly may get worse. It may also get a lot better. Who the hell knows? That is just the ride we're on. But if you're a creator, I would say, just like I say to the employees out there, do figure out your plan B. Again, Silicon Dojo. Have you heard of Silicon Dojo? In-person tech education. Because, YouTube is, I don't know, YouTube is going to do what YouTube is going to do, and we're just along for the ride. So what do you think about this? What do you think about the voluntary buyouts for YouTube employees? Do you think this is a prelude to layoffs in the YouTube division? Can you imagine YouTube employees coming onto YouTube and creating videos crying about them losing their jobs? Hey, I got a bet. Like they talk about these betting markets now. There's these new betting markets that are coming up everywhere. This is the bet that we should put. Any YouTube employee that puts a video up crying about how they lost their job at YouTube itself, at YouTube corporate, we should put up a betting pool on how badly that fucker gets ratioed. How many fuck you thumb down votes do you think a YouTube employee that got laid off who did a video, how bad do you think that shit would go? That would be an interesting thing for the betting markets. Is it ratioed 2-1? Is it ratioed 500-1? How many people laugh in the comment section? Anyways, one of the things that I ponder. So what do you think about this? What do you think about the buyouts? Do you think it's a prelude to layoffs? What do you think about this whole idea? Again, if your company offers you a buyout, you're going to take a very generous, I hate to say generous, but let's just say generous, a very generous buyout, but then you're going into a stagnant work market, employment market. On the other hand, you can say, no, I'm going to stay But then all you might be doing is delaying the inevitable by a number of months. And then you go out into an even worse job market with not quote unquote generous severance. Like, what do you think about that right now? It is a hell of a thing. It's a hell of a thing. Hey, why does Eli giggle? Because I'm used to this ride. Right? It's like when you're 6 years old, when you're 8 years old, and you go on a roller coaster. You're like, oh my God, we're gonna die. But then your parent is sitting beside you, and they just got a smile on their face, and they're like, ooh, right? And you're like, I don't understand. I thought we were gonna die. And you're like, oh, kid. Once you do this a few times, yeah, you're fine. Sometimes people die, but that's what kind of makes it enjoyable. Ooh, I didn't die. Anyways, that's how it is. That's why I giggle. That's why I laugh. Already been through this shit. .com bust. .com bust. Great recession. Graduate high school into a recession. Yep. It's what happens. It's what happens. Anyways, if you like these videos, give us a thumbs up. If you hate these videos, give us a thumbs down. Call me amazing. Call me a dumbass. Just be a real Lutnick and leave a strong American comment down there. None of those weak-ass European comments for my YouTube channel. Do you remember what I actually care about? A Silicon Dojo, silicondojo.com. Free to end user and hands-on technology education that empowers you to do whatever the hell it is that you want to do in Durham, North Carolina. We have a class coming up on AI and SQL on Wednesday. We have a class coming up on AI and web scraping on November 19th. There will be more classes. You can take a look at silicondojo.com. Do remember, free to the end user is not free. That's why I shake my brain nips every day. If you'd like to throw some money down to the donor box link down below, that would be ever so lovely. And with that, see y'all later.